Hello and welcome back to Data Center Insights. I'm your host, Emma, and today we're returning to a topic we touched on not too long ago, cybersecurity in the data center. Some of you might remember our Valentine's Day episode where we compared cybersecurity to trust in a relationship, talking about protecting the heart of your data center. Well, today we're taking a much more technical approach. No metaphors, no hearts, just a practical deep dive on defending your infrastructure at the rack level. Because let's be honest, cyber threats are evolving at record speed, and it's time to talk about exactly how you can secure the connected devices that sit quietly in your cabinets but carry enormous risk. When most people hear the word cybersecurity, they picture network firewalls, intrusion detection systems, maybe some advanced endpoint security software. But what's happening right now in data centers is far more complex. The attack surface has spread from the perimeter all the way down to the rack. And this is happening because those racks and the PDUs, controllers and smart locks inside them, have turned into mini computers. They run firmware, they have network interfaces, and in many cases, they can be remotely controlled. Think about that for a moment. A power distribution unit, which years ago was basically a dumb outlet strip, is now a network-connected, intelligent device with its own embedded software. That's convenient, but it also makes it a target. The pattern of attack is evolving too. Back in the 1970s, the creeper virus was essentially an academic experiment. In the 2000s, worms like Blaster and Slammer took down thousands of systems by finding open network ports and exploiting sloppy patching. Then came 2010, when Stuxnet showed the entire world that even air-gapped mission-critical environments could be infiltrated and physically sabotaged. It was a huge wake-up call for infrastructure operators everywhere. Fast forward to 2015, and you see what happened in Ukraine. Attackers sent a carefully crafted phishing email to target SCADA systems, then used Black Energy 3 malware to remotely control circuit breakers. In a matter of hours, over 225,000 people were left without power. That attack made one thing crystal clear. If you can compromise infrastructure devices, you can do real physical damage, even take down entire services. And now, here we are in 2025, with data centers sitting at the center of modern society, powering everything from financial markets to hospitals to critical national infrastructure. These facilities are now prime targets, and the smallest gap in security can be exploited with devastating consequences. Let's look at the numbers for a second. The Uptime Institute reports that over 50% of downtime incidents today cost more than $100,000, with 16% topping $1 million. IBM's latest breach cost estimates put the average at nearly $4.9 million per incident. And Cybersecurity Ventures projects that data breaches worldwide will reach $10.5 trillion in costs by the end of 2025. That's a staggering number. So why are we focusing on the rack today? Because the threats have moved from the edge of your network to the core of your infrastructure. Attackers are learning to target devices you might not even think about securing. PDUs, rack transfer switches, even network-connected biometric locks. Anything with a firmware stack, a port, or an IP address is now a potential doorway. That means your traditional network security stack isn't enough. You need to build cybersecurity right into the rack, where the physical meets the digital. Let's break down what that actually looks like. Modern rack-level cybersecurity starts with secure boot, ensuring that only cryptographically signed and verified firmware can load, blocking malicious code right at startup. Alongside this, rigorous vulnerability testing, ideally both internal and with trusted third-party penetration testers, is crucial to catch weaknesses before attackers can exploit them. Strong encryption, typically AES 128 or 256-bit, protects data both in transit and at rest, safeguarding credentials and system commands from tampering or interception. Embedded secure elements add another layer of protection, storing credentials safely and preventing man-in-the-middle attacks. Compliance standards like SB 327 and NISTIR 8259 increasingly apply to IoT-connected infrastructure, making it essential that rack equipment aligns with these guidelines. And of course, no cybersecurity strategy is complete without frequent firmware updates because new threats emerge constantly and fast patching is critical. Finally, customizable alerts, whether connected to sensors, cameras, or door triggers, give operators real-time visibility if anyone tries to physically access or tamper with your cabinets, adding yet another layer of defense where it counts. It's a layered defense-in-depth approach, and it's what modern data centers can no longer afford to ignore. One real-world example comes from a data center operator who suffered a targeted ransomware attack, not on their servers, but through a connected PDU. The attackers found an outdated, unpatched firmware vulnerability on a device controlling the rack's power. They gained remote control, shut down critical servers, and forced the business into a costly recovery and negotiation process. That's why intelligent PDUs with advanced firmware, secure boot, and strict access controls aren't just nice to have, they're mission critical. One platform to look at is Xerus, which Legrand has engineered with layers of security built in. Xerus supports secure boot, encrypted communications, strong password enforcement, and firewall rules to block unauthorized connections. It even supports smart integration with video surveillance and physical security devices, providing alerts in real time if someone tries to open a cabinet or tamper with cabling. Beyond the technology itself, the culture matters too. Security cannot be an afterthought. It needs to be a priority from design through deployment through continuous operation. That means working with ISO, IEC 27001 certified development teams, third-party vulnerability testers, and cybersecurity partners who stress proactive defense instead of reactive scrambling. So what's the big takeaway here? It's simple. Cybersecurity no longer ends at the perimeter. It must extend to the rack. If a single intelligent device is compromised, it can become the attacker's foothold to launch broader attacks against your network, your services, and your reputation. As you plan for the future, adding AI workloads, increasing rack density, deploying edge locations, take a hard look at what's connected inside the rack. Ask yourself, are your rack-level devices running the latest firmware? Are they validated with secure boot? Do you have a clear patching program for them, just like you do for your servers? These are no longer optional questions. They're essential for resilience in a threat environment where downtime isn't just a nuisance. It can cost lives, compromise sensitive systems, and damage trust with customers. Remember, today's attackers don't just break in and steal. They manipulate, disrupt, and sometimes destroy. Protecting your data center must start at the rack. If you'd like to explore what modern rack-level security looks like, check out solutions like Legrand's intelligent PDUs with the Xerus platform, or reach out to cybersecurity specialists who understand industrial IoT risks. That's it for today's episode of Data Center Insights. If you want to hear more on topics like this, be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. And if you missed our earlier Valentine-themed cybersecurity conversation, feel free to check that out too. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, stay secure, stay vigilant, and keep your data centers running smoothly.